The winter gala of Hartwell Industries glowed like a scene carved out of a dream, the kind people remembered for years, even if they weren't sure why. Snowflakes drifted outside the tall windows, melting as soon as they kissed the warm glass. Inside, the ballroom shimmered with candlelight and chandeliers, casting soft halos over marble floors polished so perfectly that they seemed to ripple with reflection. Guests in formal attire mingled with the ease of people who had known power for a long time. CEO, board directors, philanthropists, everyone dressed in confidence, as much as silk and wool. Laughter floated like music, light and elegant. But near the front of the ballroom, where a glossy black grand piano waited, someone stood who did not fit into their world. His name was Aaron Hale. He wore a simple gray shirt with the sleeves rolled up, revealing strong forearms marked with faint scars, the kind earned through years of labor rather than luxury. His hair fell slightly over his forehead, not perfectly styled, but naturally handsome. His expression was calm, though inside he could feel the faint tremor of nerves. He did not belong here, and he knew it. He was a mechanic, a single father, a man who had spent more nights under the hood of a car than attending events with chandeliers and champagne fountains. He was only here for one reason: his daughter Emma. She stood beside him now. A small girl of 7 with chestnut hair tied in a messy ponytail, clutching a drawing in her hands. Earlier that afternoon, she had won an art competition at school. The prize? An invitation to draw live at the winter gala. She had been ecstatic, chattering nonstop on their bus ride, painting pictures of what she imagined a gala might look like. But when she saw the ballroom full of elegant strangers, her excitement wavered. Her hands began to shake, and she whispered, almost inaudible, "Daddy, I can't. It's too many people." Aaron had knelt down to her level, wiping a tear from her cheek. "It's okay, honey. You don't have to. I'm right here." "But they asked me to go on stage," she said, voice trembling. "I can't do it alone." He gently squeezed her shoulders. "Then I'll be with you. I'll help somehow." Her eyes brightened just a little. "Will you play the piano for me, just for background, like you used to, Daddy?" He felt a painful tug in his chest. It had been years since he touched a piano. Years since he had let himself think about the song he once played until his fingers were numb. Years since life knocked him down so hard he thought music had left him for good. But Emma was looking at him with those eyes, the same eyes her mother once had, the kind that made him promise things he didn't think he could deliver. He rose, walked toward the piano, and sat down. He took a deep breath, then another, and he began to play. At first, the room barely noticed. A gala was full of sounds, glasses clinking, heels clicking, conversations humming, but slowly, one by one, heads turned, conversations softened. Eyes refocused on the man at the piano, the quiet figure whose hands glided over the keys with a grace that didn't match his rough, working-class appearance. And then something else happened. Across the ballroom, Victoria Hartwell, the CEO of Hartwell Industries, felt her entire body freeze. The melody floating across the room was not just music. It was a memory. Her breath snagged in her throat, sharp and sudden, as if the song itself had reached out and gripped her by the heart. She turned slowly, desperately, searching for the source. Her eyes landed on the man at the piano. For a moment she could not breathe. The melody was unmistakable. Her first love had written that exact song for her. Years ago, a lifetime ago. Back when she was just Victoria Hale, a girl with dreams bigger than her family could understand. Not yet the woman whose signature controlled millions. Back when she believed the world could be soft, and love could be simple. Back when she would sit beside a young man with warm eyes and calloused hands, a boy who fixed cars during the day and played music at night, dreaming of a world that wasn't always within reach. Aaron Hale. The boy she lost, the boy she left. She hadn't heard that melody since the last night she saw him, when he played it in the dim light of his garage, saying it was his heart written in notes. Her heart pounded as she moved through the crowd, weaving past executives who barely registered her sudden urgency. She came closer, 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 her heels tapping against marble, her breath trembling in her chest, until she reached the edge of the piano. Aaron hadn't seen her yet. His eyes were closed, as if letting the music lead him somewhere distant, somewhere private. His hands moved with a familiarity that suggested He had never forgotten a single note, and Victoria felt tears building in her eyes. The man who had once owned her heart was sitting right in front of her, playing a song only the two of them shared. When he finally opened his eyes and lifted his gaze, he saw her. The music didn't stop, but something inside him jolted violently. Her face was the same, and yet different. More polished now, sharper around the edges, her hair styled perfectly, her dress elegant and commanding. But her eyes, those soft green eyes, were exactly as he remembered. She pressed a shaking hand to her lips. He played the final notes slowly, letting them fade into the air like a confession he had never intended to make. When silence settled, the crowd erupted into applause, but Victoria didn't hear any of it. Her attention was fixed only on him. She whispered, voice breaking, How do you know this song?" The room hushed again, sensing the gravity in her voice. Aaron stood, gently closing the piano lid. His expression was unreadable, a mixture of shock, confusion, and a pain that had been buried deep. "I wrote it," he said softly, "a long time ago." She inhaled sharply. "Aaron, it's really you." "Hello, Victoria." The air between them vibrated with everything unsaid: anger, apologies, longing, regret, hope, bitterness, memories that had never gone away. She blinked rapidly, trying to control the wave of emotion crashing through her. "I thought you moved away. Life happened," he said quietly, "to both of us." Before she could say more, a small voice piped up beside him. "Daddy? Did I do good?" Everyone clapped. Emma ran to him, wrapping her arms around his waist. Her ponytail swayed, her eyes shining with innocence and pride. Victoria stared, stunned, at the tiny girl calling him daddy. Her heart tightened painfully as she tried to make sense of it. Emma noticed Victoria staring and hid slightly behind Aaron's leg. He stroked her head. "Victoria," he said softly, "this is my daughter, Emma." Victoria's chest tightened again. "Your daughter?" "Yes." The word held a mixture of pride and sadness, the kind only a single parent carried. Victoria crouched gently, lowering herself to Emma's eye level. "Hi, sweetheart. Your dad plays beautifully." Emma nodded shyly. "Thank you." When Victoria looked up again, her eyes were filled with questions about the year he disappeared, about the woman who wasn't here, about everything that could have been. But this wasn't the place, and they both knew it. Later that evening, while guests enjoyed dinner and dancing, Victoria found herself searching for Aaron again and again. She wasn't used to uncertainty. She wasn't used to wanting something she couldn't control. Yet every time she saw him in the ballroom helping Emma with her drawing, or speaking politely to guests who praised his piano skills, her heart pulled toward him with painful, relentless familiarity. She remembered sitting with him in his small apartment years ago, the two of them planning a future that felt impossibly bright. She remembered laughing until her sides hurt as he tried to cook dinner and nearly burned the kitchen. Remembered the night he wrote that song, telling her it was the only way he knew how to say everything he felt. And she remembered the night she left him, not because she didn't love him, but because life handed her a crossroads. Her scholarship to an international business program arrived 2 weeks before Aaron's father fell ill. He begged her to go, to chase the dream she'd worked so hard for. He insisted he would be fine, but she knew he wasn't. She knew he needed her. And she left anyway. She told herself it was temporary. It wasn't. By the time she returned, months later, he was gone. His family had moved after his father passed away. No forwarding address, no messages, nothing. She thought she lost him forever. But here he was. When the gala began winding down, Victoria found him near the coat area, helping Emma zip up her jacket. Snow fluttered lightly outside. She approached slowly. "Aaron, can we talk?" Emma looked up. "Daddy, can we get hot chocolate on the way home?" "Of course," he said softly. "Go pick up your drawing from the table. I'll be right there." Emma ran off, leaving the two of them alone. Aaron turned to Victoria. "You look like you have questions." "I have a lot," she said quietly. He nodded, staring at the snow outside, then asked, "Where did you go? Why didn't you tell me?" "I didn't have your number," he said simply. "Your mother told me you went abroad permanently. I figured you had moved on." Her heart broke. "I came back. I looked for you. I really did." He studied her, searching for the truth in her eyes. I didn't think you would. She swallowed hard. And Emma's mother? His jaw tightened. She left when Emma was 2. She wasn't ready for responsibility. She disappeared. Haven't heard from her since. Victoria's eyes softened, sadness filling them. You've been doing this alone? Yes, he said. But Emma makes it worth it. She hesitated, then asked the question that had weighed on her all night. Why were you playing our song? He met her gaze evenly. Because Emma asked me to play something familiar. It's the only melody I never forgot. Her breath caught. After everything, you still remember it. Aaron's voice softened. Some things don't go away just because life pulls you apart. Snow drifted harder outside, the world growing quieter with every falling flake. Victoria stepped closer. Aaron, I don't know how to explain everything that happened back then, but seeing you again, hearing that song, made me realize something. He raised an eyebrow. What's that? That I never stopped caring about you, she whispered. Not really. He exhaled slowly, as if her words were a blow and a bomb all at once. Victoria, I don't know if I can open that door again. I have Emma to think about. And I'm not the boy you knew. And I'm not the girl you loved, she replied softly, but maybe that's why we should talk. He looked away, struggling with emotions he had buried for years. I don't want to hurt her, or you, or myself. I'm not asking for anything, she said gently. Just a chance to understand you again. No promises, no pressure. Aaron glanced toward Emma, who was skipping back with her drawing, completely unaware of the turmoil around her. Then he looked back at Victoria. We can talk, he said finally. But I can't promise it will be easy, she smiled sadly. Nothing worth rebuilding ever is. As Emma ran up, Victoria bent down. Can I see your drawing? Emma eagerly showed her a picture of a man at a piano, surrounded by people clapping. Victoria's chest tightened. It's beautiful, she whispered. Emma beamed. Daddy helped me finish it. Victoria looked at Aaron again, realizing something quietly and intensely. He hadn't changed in the ways that mattered. He still put others first. He still carried pain silently. He still played from the heart, and she still loved the way he touched a piano. Outside, the snow danced in slow circles. Aaron pulled on his coat. We should get going. Emma's bedtime. Victoria hesitated, then said softly, Could I maybe call you tomorrow if that's okay? Aaron looked at her for a long moment. Then slowly he nodded. Yeah, tomorrow is okay. Emma waved enthusiastically. Bye, lady with pretty hair. Victoria laughed, wiping a tear. Bye, sweetheart. As Aaron took Emma's hand and stepped into the falling snow, Victoria stood at the doorway, her breath forming a soft mist in the cold air. She watched them walk away, father and daughter, silhouettes fading into the winter night. A melody drifted through her mind, wrapping around her like a warm memory reborn. She had thought the song belonged to her past, but now she wondered if it might belong to her future too.